Hi guys, this is an ITS from Corsair, and this is not actually the first time for Corsair getting into a small foreign factored case, but this is actually one of the cases they just released of recent from a long time. If you remember, the Corsair one is a pre-built case which they have that is out there, so they know how to cool to make a case work really fine for you. But anyway, let's talk about the 2000D from Corsair. Like I said before, this case comes in two colors, black and white, and it comes in the RGB version and the non-RGB version. The difference between the RGB version and the non-RGB is that one comes with, I believe, it's 6 fans and the controller for the fan header and the controller for the RGB. Whereas this one comes included with nothing, no fans, nothing that comes included in this case. So firstly, we used to do how do I get into my case if you have one of these cases as a pre-build, which I believe you'll be getting very soon. How do you get inside to clean it? Actually, it's very easy. First, the easiest one to remove is the top panel. This case is toolless, but not 100% toolless because you still need some stuff like the motherboard and stuff to use your screwdriver to get it inside. So you need to remove the top, which is held by a magnet, and there's a mesh here, and it cools very well. So this is basically plastics, and I don't know, you should be careful because when it falls it probably might break. I haven't tried it yet, and I'm not going to try it anyway. So when you remove that, you can remove the side panels by removing the thumb screws at the back. There, the side panel goes off just by removing the thumb screws at the back. One thing I need to let you know if you have this case, so that you if you make a mistake, you can actually find out how to fix your mistakes. These side panels can interchange. They can lock in both ways. That one can lock here. It is gonna close. It's gonna flush. You see that? But the only problem I found it with it is this top cover is not going to close very well. You'll see there's going to be a gap in between here if you have the two of them the other side. So you might want to keep that in mind whenever you are cleaning or you're doing anything, because you can see here has a notch. That is where the top magnet side goes to, so that it can be flush. So if you are closing it and you see that it's not flush, don't worry, just change the side panel and it's gonna flush together when you close it. So like I said, they are basically plastics, probably to cut price or stuff like that. And the front panel can be removed by pulling it out also. So that's how you get into your case. And this is the case. This is the motherboard tray at the back. This is for fan, and another fan in front here. So let me talk about the power supply first. This is where the power supply goes. I think I said before that it was not removable, but I was wrong. It's removable. There are two screws on top here, and you can actually remove two screws down here to get it out. I have an SF power supply with me here. The power supply is going to be installed here, which you can mount here, but I'm going to advise you to actually connect your cables before you mount your power supply, because I think it's a little bit tight. You can actually, but if you have everything inside, it's a little bit tight to get your power supply cables inside. So you should get all the necessary cable you need inside before you mount your power supply. So that's where the power supply goes. What I was saying about the cable is this is included, is an L-shaped power supply cable which you can connect, and you have zip ties to zip tie them into the proper cable management tray. So there's this little extension that comes with the case. It's included in the case for your power supply, and you can just route it there. So when you close the top, there's a cutout at this end here for your power supply cable to come out, which makes it a better clean case from outside there. So the power supply is on top here on this corner, and that is where it is. So when you to get your motherboard into the system, you need to remove the screws on top here for you to be able to get your motherboard in. There are 2 screws holding the fan brackets together. There, which is nice. So the motherboard's wise, this is the cage for the motherboard, and you have the standoffs that are already being installed inside. Motherboard will be facing downwards, and for people like me which have the back shred for my motherboard, unfortunately it's not able to be used in this case. So I will not be able to use it. I wanted to use air cooling. So if you can see now, I have this Nokia air cooler. I think it's going to work. It will be touching the case very, very much. Let's close it and see. I just want you to see it. I've installed it before, I've tested. There's enough clearance between the body and the cooler. So I just want air cooler, so it pulls air in and blow it downwards, and it's able to get out from the other side. So I'm gonna add intakes here and intake on both top, and I'm gonna make down here exhaust so it gets it out there from the system. So that is how I intend to use the motherboard, but unfortunately it's facing downward, and that is probably the only way it could face, because your GPU needs to go on this side if you look at it. So there's no other way you can rotate your motherboard, so your motherboard has to be facing downward. But it's very easy to actually get to your cable if the system is not working, because if you see it under here, you have this panel that is removable, and you are able to see the connector for your motherboard. So if you are somebody who likes to connect a lot of stuff every time I change stuff from here, it's going to be a lot of work. You're going to be turning your system upside down every time. So that is why I am happy there's a USB-C connector in front here, so you can actually connect stuff easy. So that is it. Cable route in goes out from the back here. Your graphics card cable can go out from the side or from down here. Depends on how you want to route it. There's enough ways to route it. VGA cards goes here. If you're using a USB connector mouse or keyboard, they have to go in from that side there. So everything basically goes out downward. I'm not sure if I really like that, but that is what we have to work with this case. You have only one cage for your hard drive, which is the SSD, or let me just say the 2.5 hard drive. You can have the spin disc also, you can install it here. But anything bigger than that, I don't think there's a space for you to install here. There are some holes on top here where you can place your hard drive also. So I believe there are just 2, but there's no card for that. So probably you have to buy one from Corsair if they are selling it separately. So that's all where you can have the connectors. So let's talk about the connectors here. Yeah, we have all the necessary connector for the USB-C, the USB-A type, the audio, and the power cable. So those are here, which they are great. There's not room for cable management. If you want to use liquid cooler, you can install one in front or on the side. There's enough room for it. You'll be able to manage your cable very well also, so I believe it's not very difficult. So graphics card wise, I have a graphics card with me here, which is my RTX 3070 Ti. So it's gonna go inside. I'm gonna remove the back filter. So going inside is not going to be a lot of difficult words. So oh, that is tight. So this graphics card goes there. This is a 2-slot graphics card. 3 slots can go inside, but when you have a 3-slot graphics card, it's going to be really close to the back panel. So no fans can go here except the one for the graphics card. So yeah, I guess it's enough. And there's a mesh here covering it, so it will prevent a lot of dust from going inside. Probably because it's too close to the back cage, it probably might be making noise. Your fan will probably be making noise, but I think you can work with that by trying to move it here and there. So that is all the components going into. I'm not putting on an SSD for now because I don't need it. I have to M.2 drive on my motherboard, but in case I decide to have an SSD, I can actually install one here to support my system, but which I don't need, so I don't have to install it. So guys, that is everything you can see for the inside. So